I recorded this video about 3 different times because I can't necessarily figure out how to necessarily do it. Why do I keep saying necessarily so many times? But anyway, today's a special day, Kohas, because we got a collaboration on our hands. A collaboration when it comes to Medaka Box, and a collaboration with another YouTuber known as Seph. Why does this man only have 4K? He needs to get up higher. He talks about Medaka Box, no one talks about it, and it pisses me off genuinely. So definitely give him a follow. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about the top 5 waifus in Medaka Box, and just enjoy the time here. So definitely I'll be going first, he'll be going second, and I'll come back to wrap up things, and that's basically how this whole thing is going to go. So when it comes down to everything, let's just get it on. And also use the hashtag UnboxMedakaBox because I want a season 3. Anyway, number 5, Hitomi Hideyoshi. This chick right here. 42 years old, popped out Zenkichi, and somehow somebody hit that. I ain't gonna hold you, I'm a bit jealous. I should be up next. Heh. Anyway, one reason why I put her on this list is because I want to cause mayhem. And number 2 is because she's a nurse. She basically works in this whole ass hospital dedicated to kids with their abnormalities and their minuses and basically their special abilities. And she almost got folded twice, once by Medaka and threatened to her son, like her son about to get threatened and get yeeted by Kumigawa, so she had to obey him in one instance. And it was like, gosh damn, can she get a break? But she also has an ability too, which is like her motherly task, I think it's called, which is basically she does basic mother things: clean, garden, and cook. I mean, if a perfect wife wasn't right there, it's right there, honestly. Granted, her ability is also the reason why she had her man pretty much leave her, because she was really good in that department as well, especially with everything else. So, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, honestly. But I mean, what did you expect for someone that works at a place that's basically Arkham Asylum, honestly? But for children, no less. Number 4. Myoga Unzen. Bitch speaks in numbers. I mean, what did you expect to honestly see when it comes to the show? This show is full of weirdos, and definitely when it comes to things, Myoga might just be one of the weirdest ones. Like, literally, all you would hear her talk, and literally even in the anime, she's quite literally just speaking like 04360978049786564369 240. I'm like, what is happening? But still, you can understand her in a way, and it's weird. Not all the the whole school, the students, they don't understand her, but somehow Medaka learned how she speaks and understands her, even though she's never heard her speak before. But she understands and refers back to that damn language of numbers. And even Namashima can kind of understand what she's saying, honestly, because even in the manga, if you read the manga, you would know that they're actually talking about like actual stuff. And one point she even brought up like Goku in Dragon Ball Z, because she's having these big ass boulders that she's carrying and chugging at Medaka too. And even Namashima was like, oh, are you talking about you gonna take those off and try to be as fast as you think you are? You think this Dragon Ball Z, you think you're better than me, mother effer? Like, honestly, I'm like, what's happening? But still, definitely, she can get it too. Although, to be fair, I don't necessarily want Unzen's super balls hitting my balls, because that would be death. So maybe I should stay a little far away. But still, I'm going to try to slide into that. Anyway, number 3, Naze Yoka, or for her actual name, Kajiro Kurakami. Yes, related to that Kurakami. To being bandaged up looking like Valdo, to being one of the sexiest ass women in this show I've ever seen. This is a person that enjoys suffering and enjoys pain, at least in the beginning, with her whole entire thing is just, if she wants to be a genius, then she must suffer, she must be in pain constantly. But that was quickly revoked when Koga got hurt, her best friend, and then she ends up referring over to her, sister's side. Now, granted, she did become an asshole person again, but she wasn't necessarily going to completely do it, mainly because it will be betraying her entire family and friends. So that's basically how she became over to the good side, so that's nice. Also, with her ability of remodeling, she ends up just doing whatever the hell she wants. Like, Koga was actually just a normal ass chick, and then she turned her into this super human ass person, and it doesn't make any kind of sense, but that's her ability. She can just make people stronger and just do whatever she wants to people's bodies. Kind of crazy and scary, but it is what it is. So hopefully you keep one eye open if you're sleeping at night in her bed, because potentially she might just experiment on you, and that's the last thing we need, like she did her own sister. But then again, it might be worth the risk considering all that boobage she got, much less dumb ass she got. So yeah, it might just have to be like that. Number 2, Ajimu Najimi. What the F is this lady? What the actual F is this lady? 100%. We talked about Ajimu plenty of times. She's even in the Koikatsu story I'm writing so many times. And definitely we already know she's broken as hell. She's one of the most powerful entities in anime history. And to be perfectly honest, she's probably slightly one of the most confusing characters. Honestly, trying to wrap my mind around that, I couldn't necessarily understand her. She believes everything in this world that she lives in is nothing but a manga and an anime, and still has the powers of a deity to travel outside of her own anime to go to different damn worlds if she wanted to, and it's just like, come on now. And to be perfectly honest, it is what it is when it comes to Ajimu. She basically does whatever the hell she wants when it comes to basically doing anything in the damn show. Whether it's her sitting on the sidelines, whether her letting her face get ripped off by literally Kumigawa, or just, you know, having fun. Or maybe having her whole skirt being lifted up by Kumigawa because he's trying to see some panties. Granted, if it's Ajimu, it's kind of dangerous, but I'm gonna go for it too. But also, one thing about Ajimu that I really like is just really kind of the art of her, honestly. Like, look at this art right here, her in the kimono. But also look at this one where everybody is just wearing nothing but jeans. This is amazing. Kumigawa is the most Chad person, I swear. Before we reach our number 1, gotta give out some honorable mentions, by the way. Number 1 is of the honorable mentions gonna be Saki. Yes, Saki. Fun fact, the Saki that I made in my series and just in general is her name comes from her. So now you know where Saki actually got her name from. And definitely when it comes to her, I just like her because she's just flashy. Also, she's a shark looking ass lady. And also she flashed the audience of a damn concert. I am for this. I wish we got to see the front side of it though. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, the next person on that list of honorable mentions is Nabashima, mainly because she's a cat. I mean, that's basically it. And also she kind of fine too. Would like to slide in. And then obviously the last one I have to give up is Imuke. Basically, she has like this, it's not really more so about the sexiness of her, but more so it's about like her character. Just because she has the power of decay and no one really accepted her really until Kumigawa and Zenkichi kind of rolled up in. And then she ends up using the love that came from more so of Zenkichi than Kumigawa, and basically just started to learn how to appreciate life more. Learn how to appreciate things in herself more. And that's honestly a really beautiful thing, honestly. Even though but my question is, who would win in a fight? Her or Shigaraki? Because they both literally have the same ability of just straight up destroying shit. Outside of that, she can make like creation of plant life. So that's a nice thing. A nice touch, by the way. And obviously the last one on the list that we have to save for our number 1 spot is Medaka Kurakami. Absolutely the most confusing woman of all confusing women. My brain hurts when I first saw her in 2015, but still, nonetheless, she is still my bae, not gonna hold you. Yes, while she's not necessarily my main bae anymore, and still that goes to Koneko because no one tops my Koneko, but still, I like Medaka because she proves the impossible to be possible. Even when taken to the most dramatic of levels of being knocked down like shit, she still wins at the end of the day. And even though she had to basically jump through a lot of hurdles, learn more about herself, and just disregarding anything that was fake about herself, she still is an OP ass queen. Also, she's the finest chick in the entire show. Fun fact, still again with the Saki character that I have, Saki was actually born from Medaka as well as Rias, and they were inspirations of bringing them all together into a fusion to create Saki. So that's where Saki also comes from. Now obviously you're not necessarily going to slide into Medaka because obviously she wants to get married before you slide in, so that's honestly the respectable way of doing things, but still she is 100% the queen of all queens when it comes to this show. I still enjoy her, she's still wonderful, and definitely just nothing that's ever going to dissuade that. The only thing that would probably dissuade me just a little bit is if she had a mood swing in War God mode, because I am not prepared for that. My life is not meant to be prepared for that. Even Alter War God mode. You remember what she did to Ojo? That joke was not fun. This man basically just saw the ring chick, except the ring chick was her, and that was horrifying. Anyway, now that my list is completed and done, after this long ass period of time, I will hand it over to you, Seph. So take it away!
Now, find a new rival.
Thanks for having me on the channel, mate, and for giving me another excuse to talk about one of my all-time favourite series. So number 5 for me has to go to Kikujima. Sure, she kind of disappears after the election arc, but from everything we see before that, I can only conclude she's a top lass. I mean, she's sweet, but also has some big metaphorical balls. Girl doesn't just call Unzen a snotty brat to his face, but rips off her own fingernails just to not lose consciousness to Yukahashi's sleeping gas. And although it never happens, I know, boo, her and Kumagawa had such great chemistry, and well, anyone who could have good chemistry with a guy like that, it says an awful lot. Not to diss my man Kumagawa, of course, but he is not the easiest of people to put up with. I mean, he's the one guy Medaka couldn't put up with. So Kikijima gets a gold medal for that, which he would definitely want, being such a money whore and all. Oh, and as a cheapskate myself, I appreciate her grind. Najimi makes my number 4, and although her personality ain't the best, she more than makes up for it with those skills. I mean, have you seen what Burst Bust does? And well, I'm sure there's many more skills that make her a top waifu, but it's not like anyone would be crazy enough to actually list them all in a video or anything like that. Yeah, no one would ever do that. Skills, of course, are just one part of a person, so what about the rest of her? Well, she has a lot of hair, once had her face ripped off, and believed that all life was fake and she was in a manga. But she overcame all of this and became the oldest high school student ever, and honestly, this Najimi is the best version of her to me, as not only is she just chilling out having fun and absolutely decimating people with her ridiculous amount of skills, but she even will risk her life, one that she used to put above all others, for her friends, which is what we call character development. But yeah, a girl who can literally become a god is a shoo-in waifu for me. We can't talk Medaka Box ladies without Medaka herself, and I'm specifically referring to her after the election, you know, short hair, acts like an actual human being, because not only is she physically a top specimen, but she has a big heart. I mean, her body becomes one big heart in her fight with Hiko. And if her and Zenkichi's relationship is anything to go on, she is just a really nice person, even if she probs is pretty headstrong. But then I guess she is also surprisingly pure, since in her logic you can't date properly till you are married. As well, if we're going for epilogue arc Medaka, then she's surrounded by a storm of dogs, and well, if you get a load of dogs to pet as well, is that not the best deal in the world? Nianami is my number 2 because I've literally no idea what this girl is about. I mean, isn't that her greatest allure? She is just one big bundle of, huh? Would she immediately stab you? Possibly. Would she make a joke? Again, possible. Would she do something completely incomprehensible? Again, possibly. I just love her because she is chaotic to the max. But if you don't want to be cut into pieces for no reason at all, then maybe she should be avoided at all costs. Again, she is just a plain old enigma. And for honourable mentions, of course, Shirane, one of the best characters in the series, with a great personality, but you know, she is an eternal lolly, and yeah, that says it all. Of course, can't not mention Koga, and Mogura since I like her hat. Oh, and lastly Emike, you know, sweet at heart, but a yandere, and I'm not about that. Nazayuka is my queen, the toppest of top tiers when it comes to Medaka Box ladies, as not only is a bandaged head and knife in the face a vibe and a half, but this girl is just one badass. I mean, in most cases, if you're losing to a minus, you don't, you know, remodel your own body to give yourself a minus, let alone one of the most busted minuses in the entire series. And sure, she's badass, but she's also sweet too. She may not admit it, but no way she goes so far for Medaka and Magara if she doesn't actually like them. She's a caring girl at heart, even if she is a sadist on the outside. Also, her name literally is just the Japanese word for why, so why wouldn't you put her at number 1? Why did I make that joke? And well, she doesn't need to use the skill Burst Bust, if you know what I mean. So overall, Naze is a top lass and the best waifu in Medaka Box. If you disagree, then, you know, argue in the comments. It ain't my comment section, so I don't care what goes down on there. And again, thanks for having me on, mate. It's been a blast to talk about some Medaka Box ladies.
Thanks for the list, Seph. Appreciate you being here, and it's a straight up honor. So, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Go to Seph the Sin's channel. Make sure that his channel is going good as well. And, you know, he has more videos than just Medaka Box, like Chainsaw Man, you know. He has other videos as well, you know. So if you like to see character analysis, in-depth character analysis, and just videos of his channel's caliber, then please go ahead and go and follow and subscribe to his channel as well. Link will also be in the description. So that's basically all I have to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy this little collaboration. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to donate to the channel, and Patreon is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.